In math, we continue to work on subtracting numbers. We're working on building our subtraction strategies. Today, we learned how to subtract across zeros, and we use the partial differences strategy to show the value of the digits when we subtract. Remember, you cannot subtract a smaller number from a larger number, and sometimes you need to borrow from the tens, the hundreds, or the thousands in order to subtract. So I'm going to show you some problems. I have 103 take away 34. I'm going to expand my number so I can write an H for hundreds, T for tens, and I'll write an O for ones. I have 100. There are 0 tens and 103. And I have 3 ones, and then I'm going to subtract, and I don't have any hundreds and 34. I have 30, and 4 is the value of my last digit in 34. Then I'm going to start with my hundreds, and I'm going to subtract. I have 100 take away 0 is 100. Then I'm going to look to my tens place, and I'm going to subtract. I have 0 take away 30. I know that I cannot subtract 30. Remember, you cannot subtract a smaller number from a larger one. So if I have 0 take away 30, I can't do that, so I'm going to borrow 100. I'm going to subtract 100 from the hundreds place. I'm going to move it up into the tens place. I have 100 take away 30. 100 take away 30 is 70. And then I'm going to subtract my ones place. I can't subtract 4 from 3. 4 is a bigger number. So I am going to subtract a 10 from my tens place, and I get 60 from 70. Move that 10 up into the ones place. 13 take away 4 is 9. 60 plus 9 equals 69. That is my difference. 100 take away 34 equals 39. I'm going to show you another problem. Okay, if I have, let's say I have 500 take away 128. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand my number, my hundreds. I have tens and I have ones. O for 1, T for tens, H for hundreds. 500 has 0 tens and 0 ones. I have 100 and 128. Take away. I have 20, and then I have 8. I'm going to start with my hundreds. 500 take away 100 equals 400. Then I'm going to move to my tens. I have 0 take away 20. I know that 20 is bigger than a 0. I cannot subtract a larger number from a smaller number, so I'm going to subtract 100 from my hundreds place, and I have 300. I'm going to move that 100 to the tens place. I have 100. Now I can subtract 20. 100 take away 20 equals 80. Then I'm going to subtract my ones. I cannot subtract 8 from 0. I need to regroup. I need to borrow. So I'm going to subtract a 10. 80 minus 10 is 70. I'm going to move that 10 to the tens place. 10 take away 8 equals 2. I have 300 plus 70 plus 2 equals 372. 500 take away 128 equals 372. I'm going to show you one last problem with subtracting across zeros with the number 1,000. I have 1,000 take away 348. I'm going to expand my number. So I know I have 1,000. That's my thousands place. I'm going to put an H for my hundreds. I'll put a T for my tens and an O for my ones. And I'm going to draw a line here. Put my subtraction sign. I'll start with my thousands. I have 1,000 0 hundreds, 0 tens, 0 ones. Then I'm going to go to my number 348 that I'm subtracting from 1,000. I have no thousands. I have a 300 in the hundreds place. I have 40 in the tens place, and I have 8 ones. Now I'm going to subtract. I'll start with my thousands. 1,000, take away 0. There's 0 here, equals 1,000. Then I'm going to subtract my hundreds. 0 cannot take 300 away. 300 is a much bigger number. So I'm going to borrow 1,000. 1,000 take away 1,000 equals 0. I move my 1,000 up into my hundreds place. 1,000 take away 300 equals 700. Then I'm going to subtract my tens. I cannot subtract 40 from 0. So I'm going to subtract 100. I get 600 in my hundreds place. I move my 100 into my tens. I have 100 take away 40 equals 60. Then once again, I'm going to look at my ones next door, and I have 0 take away 8. I cannot take away 8 from 0. 8 is a bigger number. So I'm going to subtract a 10 from 60, and I get 50. And I'm going to move that 10 up into the ones place. Now I have 10 take away 8. 8 is a smaller number. I can subtract, which is 2. Now, I have no thousands. I have 652. 1,000 minus 348 equals 652. Notice when I write 652, my 600 is in the hundreds place, my 50 is in the tens place, and my 2 is in the ones place. Every digit should be in its right place because it shows a certain value. We'll continue with subtraction tomorrow, and we will practice subtracting starting in the ones place. Today we subtracted from the hundreds, or starting with the hundreds or starting with the thousands.